I am your host, Danielle Mims. Welcome to Think Like a Kid, the podcast that helps parents and teachers stop guessing and start teaching the way kids actually learn. After working with hundreds of kids, I can promise you this: one-size-fits-all learning doesn't work. It's time to stop making kids fit the system and start shaping learning around the child. Each week, you'll get quick wins, creative ideas, and brain-based strategies to make learning hands-on and fun again. So whether you're in the classroom, the car, or halfway through your coffee, I am so glad you're here. Let's think like a kid. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Think Like a Kid. I have my fancy microphone now. I've had it for about a year. Aaron got it for me last Christmas when I was going to start my podcast, and 2025 was wild. So here I am using it for the first time. I hope it sounds better for you than my AirPods in the previous episodes. Anyway, I hope you're having a great start to your 2026. And this is a great episode to start off the year because this is when I decided to launch my activity guide for high energy toddlers using the CCP model. And so many parents resonated with my story and utilized it in their own homes and saw so much success. And that's what I want to give to you today. I want to give you a simple system where you can, stop listening to this podcast and go over to your child and start it like immediately. That's kind of the goal for this one. And if you don't have a high energy toddler, this is still for you because this works for any child, honestly. But I needed something specific. I needed something that would work with my high energy toddler. And before you say, well, all toddlers are high energy, no, they are absolutely not. Like, all toddlers have energy. Yes. But I can confidently say, after having 3 toddler boys, that they all have energy. They are not all extreme high energy. They're not. There's a difference. And if you have one, you know what I'm talking about. And it's almost offensive when people say, like, well, every toddler's like that. No, they are not. My child could climb before he could walk. We had to have 3 locks on every door in our house. He would try to run away. He was always naked. He would dump everything and he would destroy everything. It was a constant battle. And I could deal with that. But I was like painfully pregnant with my 3rd child, and it was just not a sustainable life. It just wasn't. And I don't say that lightly. Like, it was hard to get off the couch. I was turning into a parent that I didn't love. I was yelling a lot. I was saying no. That was my interactions with him, right? It was just putting out fires. I'm like, this is not feeling good for him and it's not feeling good for me. Something's got to change. So I went to the drawing board and I failed tons and tons of times before developing the CCP model that I'm about to share with you. I was like, Danielle, you've taught for how many years? How many difficult behaviors? You have your master's degree in education. Like, you can do this. And I did. It just took some tweaking and time. I sent it to all my teacher friends, asking them to tear it apart. And it was just thoroughly tested by many, many people before releasing it to the world. And then now getting the feedback and the demand that I've had for this activity guide that exclusively has the CCP model within it has been really amazing to see that I wasn't alone and that I was able to create something for other moms who are going through the same thing that I did. All right, so let's get into it. The CCP model is basically a a system to have in place. I do use it as a visual, so like printing it off and laminating it because visuals make life so much easier for kids. Just trust me on that one. And it's an acronym. It stands for choice, choice, play. And the reason why it's so heavy in choices is because kids in general, but toddlers are obsessed with being in control. So give them the control when you can, right? Not all of the time, but if you do it enough where it's appropriate, then that need is kind of met where they're not demanding it all the time. So the first choice of this whole routine is a snack choice. I mean, obviously, we don't want to deal with a hangry child or a hangry toddler or a hangry adult or anyone who's hangry, right? I don't even want to deal with myself. So obviously that's a given, but that's not even the reason why snack is the first choice of this entire routine. A healthy snack choice, like say a cucumber or a carrot or an apple, something crunchy, that provides oral input for your child, which organizes and calms their brain. So this first step is regulating their nervous system
before even getting started with what you want them to get started with. So it sounds very simple, but it does big things for your child. So for my own, I have my routine board on my fridge and I say, okay, here's your first choice. Do you want a string cheese or do you want an apple? They get to make the choice. They have their snack. You can have a snack with them. And then you move on to the next part of the routine, which is a connection choice. This is so incredibly important. And every time I troubleshoot with a parent or a teacher, they're missing this. They know it. And then they get reminded and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I don't know why I keep forgetting. It is child led connection with the adult, like one on one play. And before you say, I don't have time for that, or I don't like to play, I get it. But even if you don't have 15 minutes, 5 minutes is enough. But having this uninterrupted time where you put your phone away and you are one on one with your child and you are following their lead. It's not you saying like, "Oh, let's play superheroes. You do this and I do this." It's not that at all. You are following exactly what they do. And if they're doing nothing, you're doing nothing with them, right? You're not going to direct their play because we are trying to build independent, confident kids here. Okay. And this alone, this uninterrupted time fills their emotional cup. That is so crucial because they crave that and you're giving it to them. You're being proactive. So don't forget this step. This is going to happen before we get to the P, which is play. It's the transition to independent play. And for you, I have created 52 independent play invitations for high energy toddlers. So these are not things that are going to drive you mad because I couldn't handle it. I mean, I've literally had to call poison control on him multiple times. It couldn't be stuff that they could put in their mouth. It couldn't be stuff that they could dump. It's not that. It's things that are laying around your house and they're open-ended materials that you provide with your child and you phrase it in a way that gets them on board, engaged. And I wrote all that out for you as well. And this will lead them into independent play. Not just a one and done. You're not giving them an activity where they're like, okay, I finished it. Now what? Right? It's something that is going to grab their senses. It's something that's going to build huge skills. Every single activity in this guide is all rooted in STEAM play and building those critical thinking and the imagination skills that your child needs. And your child is going to take this invitation and they're going to make it their own. So there's not like an end result. It's not like a craft, right? It's really just giving them what they need. And I get it. Trust me, I get it with the high energy power. It's intense. It is a lot, but it is a superpower. And we have to just channel it without shutting down who they're supposed to be, right? It's meeting them exactly where they are at and giving them the tools so that they can thrive and you can do more than just survive, right? Because for a long time, I was just surviving. I was in this hamster wheel of just starting the day, feeling miserable. Firstborn, my toddler was someone who could, do an activity or do something independently. And my second was just giving me a run for my money. So something had to give. And that's where this was developed. So I am telling you that this is a proven model. I'm telling you that you can do this without purchasing my activity guide. If you have activities at home or you're a creative person, you have them in your mind, great, use them. Just follow the CCP model and see how much of a difference that's going to make. I'm not telling you to do extensive crafts or Pinterest activities. I'm talking about like masking tape and like toys around your house. I'll give you a quick example. Like the first activity in my guide is called, every time I say this, I can't say it because it's like a tongue twister. So it's called Splish Splash Car Wash. I did it. And that is simply where you obviously put a towel down and fill up a bucket of water with some soap, child friendly soap, obviously. Give them sponges or cloths or like a toothbrush, whatever you want to do. And then you can put some vehicles or cars or whatever their like favorite toy is that is okay to be in water. And you put it in the bucket and you phrase it in a way that will pique their interest and their curiosity. And they're going to have their cars go on a car wash and it's their job to clean all the cars. It will start off in the way that you kind of present it. And then it should naturally, gradually turn into their own kind of game. And that is the goal. You don't want them to be so explicitly following every single direction, right? You want them to be confident enough in their own play for them to direct their own play. And I learned in college, which it was a game changer. At first, I thought it was very tedious. Like we had to learn how to ask questions for kids in order to get their buy-in and to have them remain engaged in any lesson. And that's what I did for all of these activities too. So I wrote out the higher level thinking questions for you to ask your child. I wrote down the steps for you. I wrote down the script for you so that you could get their buy-in, so that you could get them excited to think like them. Like, how are they thinking when they see this? And I wrote that all down for you so that you don't have to think. Because guess what? When I was at that stage, I couldn't think. Like, I literally couldn't. I've loved teaching. I have been a teacher for years and years and years. And I was like, I don't have a creative bone in my body right now. I just like, I cannot survive. And so I literally just created something that I wish that I had, and it just wasn't out there. There was tons of activities, tons of advice that just didn't fit my child at all. So that's how it was born, to be honest, is just out of my survival mode and needing to have a solution so that I could have an amazing life with and he is still crazy, I will tell you, but he is a confident, independent learner who just thrives with his own play. So I will link the activity guide in the show notes for you, but again, literally no need, especially if you are creative on your own and you already have things in your back pocket. Just try the CCP model with your child and see how much of a game changer it is. And you can, I mean, obviously I have the visuals in my guide, but you could just draw it out, or you could go on your computer and find a picture of a kid eating a snack. And you could find a picture of like a dad and a kid or a mom and a kid playing a game together for the second choice. And then for the P, you could do an independent play activity, print it out, put it on a piece of paper, and that's your visual. That's how simple it is. It honestly is. It's not like that difficult. They just need to connect it with their brain. It makes it more concrete and stays with them. And then you just start with the first one. We're going to have a snack. Start with the second one. We're going to have connection time, and we're going to have one-on-one special time with mommy or daddy or grandma or grandpa or a caregiver. And then you're going to transition into that independent play. So I hope that you try this. And if you do, I'd love to hear from you. It brings me so much joy that something that I created helped someone else. So if you do try it and you have a success story, I'd love to hear it. And until next time, friend, thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you more than you'll ever know. And I will see you next time. Keep thinking like a kid.
Thank you for listening to Think Like a Kid. If this episode gave you an idea, a reframe, or a little win, the best way to say thank you is to share it with a friend or leave a quick review. It helps more parents and teachers find these conversations, and honestly, it means the world to me. Until next time, friend, keep meeting kids where they're at and keep thinking like a kid.